Hello, and welcome back to Nerd News. Still not sold on that name, but we're gonna roll with that. Today we have two new Yakuza games that were announced like first thing this morning. We have a new trailer for Sonic Frontiers, looks fantastic, and we have a whole new archetype coming to Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's get started. So yesterday we spoke about the new Yakuza game, Like a Dragon. Isen, whatever, the feudal Japan looking Like a Dragon game, the remake from the PS3, PS4. This morning they announced Like a Dragon Gaiden, which is going to focus on Kiryu and his story, Like a Dragon 6 and 8, and we got Like a Dragon 8 announced coming in 2024. So we have two new Yakuza games coming next year, and then we have Like a Dragon 8 coming in 2024. The trailer for the Gaiden game looks pretty good. It follows Kiryu in a temple. This looks fantastic. I cannot wait to play this. It's, according to the developers, it's about half the size of a normal Yakuza game. However, it will have all of the side quests, the open world aspects to it. It's just a shorter game, which is good. I kind of like that. I like the Yakuza games that are about 10 to 15 hours. Which is more than half of them, I would say. The last couple were a little bit longer, but the earlier ones were quite short. So if this is between 7 and 10 hours, I'm going to be pretty happy with it. And it looks really good. Good to see Kiryu back. And they did say it will be an action RPG, more like the original Kiryu games, not so much like the Yakuza Like a Dragon game. We also got word that Like a Dragon 8 will be coming. And in this one, we will have both Ichiban and Kiryu as the main characters. They will both be serving as the protagonist, and it appears that it's going to follow the turn-based style of the newer game. So it'll be following the footsteps of the Yakuza Like a Dragon game. They only showed a small snippet for this one, really just showing the two main characters. Honestly, Kiryu looks a little weird with the gray hair there, but it's alright. Overall, I think the game looks really good for what they've shown, like graphically. And I mean, I have complete faith in RGG. I have no issues with this. I think all of these games are going to be fantastic. I think there's an argument being made that honestly, this is the best studio coming out of Sega right now. Atlas is, I guess, the one debatable with it, but they're pumping out two new Yakuza games, followed by another one in 2024. We just got Lost Judgment this year. They really do put out quite a bit of stuff, and it's always excellent. Next up, we have the Sonic Frontiers trailer, and this is really good. It's short. It's only about a minute long, and they don't really give you a whole lot of new information. You do see Super Sonic, though. That's really cool. I recommend just watching this trailer. There's not really a whole lot I can tell you about it. Honestly, it just works really well with the music in the back that they play, and I can't play that. Very good trailer, though. Really looking forward to this game. It doesn't look fantastic, but I think it's going to be a good Sonic game, and we haven't had one of those in a long time, so I'm really looking forward. And lastly, we have some new Yu-Gi-Oh cards. A couple different archetypes. We're going to cover all of them. We'll pull them up on the screen to go over those. I'm really excited for the new generators. They're really cool deck. And some Visa Starfrost support that looks really interesting.
Alright, first for the generator support, we have Vera, Sahir of Generator Bosses, level 9 Fairy, 2500 attack and defense. You can only use the second and third effect of this card once per turn. You can only control one of this monster. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send one other generator card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. If this card is special summoned, you can special summon one generator monster from your hand or graveyard except itself. That's really cool. It's an instant rank 9. If it's special summoned, it special summons another generator from your hand or graveyard. That's going to be really, really good. And next we have Laverton, Generator Boss of Shadows, level 9, or rank 9, Fire Fairy, exceeds 25 attack and defense. 2 or more level 9 monsters, you can only control one of this card. All monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 attack and defense. That's a lot. Quick effect, you can tribute this exceed summon card, special summon one non-fairy generator exceeds monster from your extra deck, Then you can attach cards from the field and or any graveyards to it as material up to the number of materials this card had. That's really strong. It doesn't quick effect tribute itself. Special summon another generator exceed, so the snake, your Jorgenheimer or something, from the extra deck, and then you can take stuff from the field and attach it. That's going to be really, really good. Not to say that generators are going to become like the next best deck or anything like that, but these two support cards are going to really help the deck out. This is nice. Looking forward to picking these up when they come out. Next, we're going to move into the Kasha Trila archetype. This is a new archetype coming out in this set, and it looks pretty good. Let's see what we have here. Kasha Trila Rise Heart. Level 4 Fire Warrior. Okay. 1500 attack, 21 defense. If you control another archetype monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except exceeds monsters. Okay, that's whatever. If this card was no more special summoned this turn, you can banish one Kasha Trila card from your deck except itself. Banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck face down, and if you do, this card's level becomes 7. Okay, so it banishes 3 from your opponent's deck and then is a free level 7. That's pretty good. Next we have Scareclaw Kasha Trila. The level 7 Earth Psychic monster, 0 attack, 2600 defense. Can only use the first effect of this card's named once per turn. During the main phase quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, banish one Kasha Trila or Scareclaw monster Scareclaw card from your hand or graveyard. So special from your hand on a quick effect during the main phase. So that's either player's turn by banishing one of the 2 archetype names from your hand or graveyard. That's really strong for a level 7 26 defense. That's just going to slap down a big butt. This card can attack while face up defense position if it does apply its defense or damage calculation. All right, that's pretty cool. We haven't seen that kind of effect in a while. I think the Super Heavy Samurai, last time we saw something like that. That's nice though. Defends and can attack like that. The effects of any opponent's monsters that battles your Kasha Trila or Scareclaw monsters are negated until the end of the turn. All right, so it's got like a field-wide Armades effect. That's pretty good. This is nice considering you're probably just going to make it into a rank 7 anyway. Next up is Tier Elements Kasha Trila. It's a level 7 Water Psychic, 2300 attack, 1200 defense. You can only use the first, second, and third effects of this card's name once per turn. Okay. During the main phase, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, so it's the same effect as the last one. Banish a Kasha Trila or a Tier Elements card and special summon it. That's still really good for a level 7, and it's, again, during either player's turn on a quick effect. That's nice. If this card is no more special summon, you can send the top 3 cards of either deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So this just mills 5 on turn 0. You can do this on your opponent's turn and just mill 3 on summon, and then, because it will most likely get fused off and sent to the graveyard, you can just mill another 2. That's really strong. This is going to be really strong with Tier Elements, regardless of how good it is in this Kasha Trila deck, which it probably will be still played in this deck too. This is going to be really strong in Tier Elements. And the final monster shown here is Kasha Trila Arise Heart. Rank 7 Dark Machine exceeds 3000 attack and defense. 3 level 7 monsters are as material. Once per turn during the turn the effects of Kasha Trila Shangri-La were activated, you can also exceed summon this card using a Kasha Trila monster you control. Okay, so if you played the Shangri-La, which I don't know what that is. I think that was previously released in another set. You can just use one monster to make this, which is really good. It's a free rank 7. It's almost like a Link 1. That's really cool. Cards sent to the graveyard are banished instead. So it's a Dark Law. That's good. Macrocosmos on legs is always something you want to see. Once per chain, that's never a good sign. Each time a card is banished, attach one banished card to this card as material. Okay, so if your opponent does anything, like say they make a link 1, you can take the monster they used for that link 1 and attach it. And if they make a link 2, you can take one of those 2 monsters and attach that one. And you can do this once per chain. That is crazy. Wow. Once per turn, quick effect, you can detach 3 materials from this card, then target 1 card on the field, banish it face down. Okay, so it's already made with 3 monsters. Even if you make it the easiest way possible, which is 1 Kasha Trila monster, you're probably going to get the 3 materials really quickly. And from there, you can detach 3 to target 1 card on the field and banish it. It doesn't even matter what kind of card. You can just target a card and banish it face down. This is really strong. Even as a generic, like, requires 3 materials to make a level 7 exceeds, that's still really, really strong. That's going to be a really good card. Alright, for the spells, we have Kasha Trila Overlap, Quick Play. You can only use the first and second of this effects of this card name once per turn each. Target 1 monster in the field, banish 1 monster with 1500 attack, 2100 defense from the field, your hand, or your graveyard, and if you do, the target monster gains 1500 attack, whatever. If this card becomes banished and you control a Kasha Trila monster, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of the turn. I mean, the banish effect is really good. That regular effect is not very good. I guess you could banish this from hand to summon your level 7s though, so that's pretty neat. I don't know if you'd play more than one of this though. I don't see this being like a 3 of or anything. It's a neat card, but it's nothing crazy. Next we have the normal spell, Kanji. Oh wait, no, I think that's just saying it's Kanji. The 6th world, the 6th heaven of desire. You can only use the first and second effects of this card each once per turn. Okay. Target 1 Kasha Trila monster you control, special summon another with a different attribute from your deck in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters in the extra deck except exceeds. That's really strong. That's, you control 1, you can just E-Telly for another one, and it doesn't negate effects. That's really good. If this card becomes banished, you can target 1 of your banished Kasha Trila monsters or Kasha Trila cards, except itself, add it to your hand. That's really strong. Alright, so maybe you play like 3 of this and like 1 or 2 of the effect negator. Because I guess the effect negator, it's kind of just a worst imperm, but it's probably searchable in to some degree, and it triggers you can use it to trigger your monster effects, so I guess it's better in that instance. So maybe play a couple of that, and then this just cycles it. That's really good. These are looking really good in combination with each other. Time for the field spell. We have Prime Planet Pariso. You can only use 1. You can only activate this card once per turn, and you can only use the 3rd effect of this card's name once per turn. When this card resolves, you can add 1 Kasha Trila monster from your deck to your hand. There it is. That's your searcher. Monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each attribute among monsters on the field. So that's both you and your opponent. That's pretty good. That's a small boost, but a boost nonetheless. If Kasha Trila Sharingla you control activate its effect, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy it. That's pretty cool. Just if you activate the Shangri-La, you can target a card on the field and destroy it. That's good. Alright, Scareclaw Defang Unleashed Primitive Planet. Continuous spell card. You can only use the 3rd effect once per turn. Your opponent cannot target Scareclaw, Link monsters, and Visa Starfrost you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. I mean, that's decent protection. Monsters destroyed by battle with your Scareclaw, Link monsters, or Visa Starfrost are banished instead of being sent to the graveyard. Okay, I don't know if that does anything for them, but sure. You can banish 1 Scareclaw, Link monster from your field or graveyard, then target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. Okay, so the 2nd effect kind of stops the 3rd effect from being good. I don't know about this card. This doesn't seem that great. Alright, we got Normal Trap Trivikarma. You can only use 1 effect of this card's name per turn and only once that turn. Target 1 Visa Starfrost you control on 1 effect monster your opponent controls. Negate the opponent's monster's effects And if you do, your monster gains attack equal to half of that opponent's monster's original attack or defense, whichever is higher. Alright, that's fine for a trap card. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one spell trap that mentions Vise of Starfrost from your deck to your hand, except itself. I mean, that's pretty good. It banished search a spell a trap card. That's not bad. We got Kasha, Trila, Big Bang. The kanji reading is Root Purifying Struggle of the Sixth World. Okay. Normal trap, you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. If there is a Kasha Trila Exceeds monster in the field, both players banish monsters from their field face down so they control only one. Alright, that's wow. If this card becomes banished, you can target one Kasha Trila Exceeds monster you control, add one Kasha Trila monster attached to it as material to your hand, then you can special summon it from your hand. Okay, that's really good. That's really good. It's a board wipe for monsters, and then if you banish this card, you take one of the materials, add it to your hand, and summon it, which will likely trigger its effect. This is a really strong trap card. Trap cards are usually pretty bad, but this is really strong. Holy shit. Alright, and the last card we're going to go over, I just stuck this here at the end because it's a tier elements card, and this archetype has had some connection to the tier elements. It's a new field spell. They already have a pretty good field spell, if I'm not mistaken, but this one is tier elements Paralegia. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Fusion monsters and tier element monsters you control gain 500 attack. Fine. If an Aqua tier element monster is sent to your graveyard by card effect, you can send one level 4 or lower Aqua monster from your deck to the graveyard. But if it is not a tier element monster, you cannot activate cards or effects of cards with that name for the rest of this turn. I mean, that's fine. You're probably going to send a tier element anyway, so that's not really a big deal. And it kind of stops you from, like, splashing random stuff in it. Like, you could probably splash Toad in that way. Like, if you played Swap Frog and, like, Ronin Toad, and you could probably splash that into this deck that way, and I guess that would be a little much. Not saying that's a good idea, but I guess you could have if they didn't add that effect. I don't know. You know what? Tier elements are good enough. I don't think they really need anything generic like that. It's fine that it only lets you really do tier elements. Otherwise, it stops you from using the effects. It's a decent card. I think their other field spell might just be better, though.
Thanks for watching. That's all the news we have for today. Check back tomorrow. We'll have more news first thing in the morning, and hopefully something good.